In what can be seen as a massive milestone for ESG investing in India, today the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development listed its first social bond at the Bombay Stock Exchange. This bond has been valued at about 1,040 crores, and I'm joined by Mr. Shaji KV, chairperson for NABARD. Thank you so much for joining me, sir, today. I'd first like to start by congratulating you for the listing of these bonds, and I'd like to start by asking if there are any specific projects for these bonds, the money raised through these bonds will be allocated to.
Yeah, so we are intending to use these funds for irrigation facilities in the rural areas and also sanitation facilities, improving sanitation in the rural areas, particularly in the southern states. That's what right now. So all along we are doing all these activities. Now the assets which we identified for this are specifically this, that sanitation and also irrigation facilities, drinking water, such other things.
Sure. Like I said, it's the first time social bonds are getting listed. It's not only a first for NABARD, but also for India. How is the journey like? How is the process? And what are the key influences in this?
So if you see our balance sheet, most of our balance sheet assets are in the sustainability framework. If you see that, no, we predates actually all this nomenclature for sustainability. So we want to actually, redraft our balance sheet in terms of impact it is creating rather than in the monetary terms. So the double bottom line of finance and also the impact, that is what we are trying to document through this social bonds. And what we intend to do is that, going forward, we will be confining to whatever the SEBI framework for sustainability is there, and our policies, internal policies, procedures are now getting fine-tuned to that. So all our issuances, for information, we are one of the largest issuers in the market. So all our future issuances will be in the sustainable framework.
Sure. Talking about sustainability, NABARD is really bucking the trend when it comes to coming up with sustainable projects. And through social bonds, there's also a green bond coming up in March. What are the kind of projects you'll be focusing on with green bonds?
So climate is one of the concerns. Climate resilience is one of the concerns for rural areas. Rural area is actually getting impacted a lot. If you see the rural livelihood now, a lot of climate incidents have happened, which calls for a lot of adaptation measures and also for some innovative measures to combat the ill effects of the climate. And also we need to be aware of the fact that agriculture is one of the emitters of greenhouse gases as well. So whatever projects which now we are doing, we will be framing it in such a way that it is getting equivalent to the green initiatives, which the government of India is also. In fact, as a country, we are committed to net zero in a faster pace. The timelines given is very shorter. So in that, the rural area need to be equipped further for helping the country to meet the net zero. So in that count, the green bonds issuances will be helping us, and we expect that we'll get some final rates for that, so that the cost for meeting those fund requirements will be a little lesser. We were functioning mainly through many of the state governments. Now we will be mostly focusing on direct interventions. In that count, we have set up already a venture capital subsidiary for supporting the innovations in the rural sector. So it is a 600 crore fund, of which around 300 crores have been already invested, and around 30 portfolio companies are there who are focused on rural tech and the food tech and agri tech. So we will be partnering with these institutions to have innovative solutions to the problems, because problems of agriculture sector are manifold and it is very complex, and it is very cost intensive as well. So we need to find market related solutions. For that, I feel that this venture capital fund will come in handy, and we are intending to have this fund 2 also. So going by the success of this fund, of course, if you can see the performance of the fund so far, it is one of the best performing public sector fund in India. So we want to follow it up with another fund of maybe around 1,000 crores, and then also we are trying to partner with the government for supporting frugal innovations in the rural areas through some blended capital fund. That also is in the talks now.
Talking about problems of the agriculture sector, one of the major problems is monsoon, and we saw a very erratic monsoon pan out. We went from surplus in July to massive deficit in August. How does NABARD come into the picture and try and help farmers here?
So we are supporting a lot of irrigation facilities, irrigation projects in many states. What we intend to do is that we want to even out the effects of the monsoon, the erratic monsoon. So whether we can, we are also into a lot of check dam construction and such other things where we can store water and then use it in terms of need. So what we intend to do is that the climate resilience in agriculture need to be supported through various means, including by improving the irrigation facilities. India is mostly rain-fed agriculture which is there. We want to reduce the effect of erratic monsoon on agriculture and thereby affecting the production and also the rural livelihood. So what we intend to do is that to even out these effects so that there will be a smoother value chain formation happening in the areas.
Sure. Other problems that we saw this year in with respect to farmers and agriculture were tomato prices spiking, but now they're also back to the regular prices that they were. How does again NABARD come in here? And the other problem recently we're seeing is with onions and rice. So how do you navigate these issues?
Yeah. So we are aware of these fluctuations which are happening, which is basically maybe a function of demand and supply. So what we are trying to do is that to improve the warehousing facilities in these crops and also to improve the processing of this. So we have set up a food processing fund where we are setting up a lot of food parks across the country. That is one way of trying to deal with surpluses. And then when the demand which is happening, rather the glut, maybe that will be leading to those crash in prices. So we want to divert those surplus production to processes and also to the storage structures. So onion is one area where we are concentrating on. We are aware that that is in fact affecting the Indian inflation basket is having almost 42% agri commodities. So we are aware of that and we are trying to smoothen that volatility so that the Indian inflation overall is getting a smoother flow.